Greenfield, a town where time seemed to amble. Sun-drenched streets, friendly smiles, the kind of place where everyone knew each other, and strangers were welcomed with open arms, not a hint of discord. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers and freshly baked bread from the local bakery. It was the kind of place where children played freely, their laughter echoing through the streets as they chased each other in games of tag and hide-and-seek. Where doors were left unlocked, a testament to the trust and camaraderie that bound the community together. And where the biggest news was Mrs. Peabody's prize-winning apple pie. Her secret recipe was the talk of the town, and everyone eagerly awaited the annual pie contest. But even in paradise, shadows can lurk. Beneath the surface of this idyllic town, there were secrets waiting to be uncovered. The Greenfield Library stood as a beacon of knowledge. It was more than just a building. It was a sanctuary for those who sought solace in the written word. Its brick facade and ivy-covered walls whispered tales of countless stories. Each brick seemed to hold a piece of history, a fragment of the past. Inside, Meera Sharma, the assistant librarian, was the guardian of these narratives. She knew every nook and cranny of the library, every hidden gem on its shelves. She was a quiet soul with a heart full of dreams. Her love for books was evident in the way she handled them, with a reverence that spoke of her deep connection to the stories they held. Her fingers danced across the keyboard, weaving magic with every word. She had a gift for bringing characters to life, for creating worlds that felt as real as her own. Meera was an aspiring novelist. Her mind was a treasure trove of ideas, each one more captivating than the last. Each night, after the library doors closed, she poured her soul into her work. The quiet of the library at night was the perfect backdrop for her creativity. Her current project, a mystery novel, had consumed her for months. It was a story that had taken root in her mind and refused to let go. It was her love letter to Greenfield, a place that felt as familiar as the back of her hand. Every character, every setting, was inspired by the people and places she knew so well. Life in Greenfield was peaceful, almost predictable, until it wasn't. The tranquility of the town was shattered by an unexpected event, one that would change everything. The townspeople gathered in concern, whispers of uncertainty spreading like wildfire. What had once been a haven of peace was now a place of unease. Meera looked out the window, her mind racing with possibilities. She knew that the answers lay within the pages of her own story, and she was determined to uncover the truth. As the sun set and the library lights glowed warmly, Meera felt a sense of resolve. The calm before the storm had passed, and now it was time to face whatever lay ahead. The glow of the laptop screen illuminated Meera's face. She had been working tirelessly for months, often losing track of time as she delved deeper into her story. The dim light of the room contrasted sharply with the bright ideas that flowed from her mind onto the screen. A tired but triumphant smile played on her lips. It was a smile that spoke of countless sleepless nights and endless cups of coffee. She had faced numerous challenges, but her determination had never wavered. She had finally finished her manuscript, the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and passion. Each word, each sentence, had been meticulously crafted to tell a story that was close to her heart. Years of dreaming, writing, and rewriting had culminated in this moment. She remembered the first draft, the countless revisions, and the feedback from friends and mentors. Every step had brought her closer to this achievement. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. She hesitated for a moment, savoring the feeling of completion. It was a moment she had envisioned countless times, and now it was finally here. A sense of accomplishment washed over her. It was a feeling unlike any other, a mix of relief, joy, and pride. She had done it. She had turned her dream into reality. She had poured her heart and soul into this novel. Every character, every plot twist was a reflection of her thoughts and experiences. It was more than just a story. It was a piece of her. It was more than just a story. It was a part of her. She held the manuscript with an emotional expression, knowing that it represented her journey, her struggles, and her triumphs. Meera carefully saved her work. She knew the importance of preserving her creation. With a few clicks, she ensured that her manuscript was safe and secure. She backed it up on a pen drive. This small device now held her dreams, her aspirations, and her future. It was a precaution she had taken many times before, but tonight it felt especially significant. This manuscript was her treasure, her ticket to a world beyond Greenfield. She envisioned the possibilities it held, the doors it could open, and the new horizons it could lead her to. She tucked the pen drive into her bag, a sense of contentment settling in her heart. It was a small act, but it symbolized the end of one journey and the beginning of another. As she closed her laptop, a wave of exhaustion hit her. The adrenaline that had kept her going was now fading, leaving behind a deep sense of fatigue. Mira decided to head home. The familiar comfort of her bed was calling to her, and she knew she needed rest before the next steps of her journey. She'd drop off her bag and then return to lock up. It was a routine she had followed many times, but tonight it felt different, more significant. The familiar walk through the quiet streets of Greenfield was a nightly ritual. The cool night air and the silence of the town provided a perfect backdrop for her thoughts. Little did she know tonight, everything would change. The sense of foreboding was subtle, but it lingered in the back of her mind. The quiet streets held secrets, and Mira was about to uncover them. The next morning, Mira arrived at the library with her usual enthusiasm. She unlocked the doors, the scent of old books welcoming her like an old friend. She headed straight to her desk, eager to start working on her query letter. Her fingers reached for her bag. It was empty. Panic surged through her. Where was her pen drive? She checked her bag again and again. The pen drive, containing her precious manuscript, was gone. Her heart pounded in her chest. Her mind raced. Had she forgotten it at home? She mentally retraced her steps from the previous night. No, she distinctly remembered putting it in her bag. Someone had been inside the library. Someone had taken her manuscript. The realization hit Mira like a bolt of lightning. Her manuscript, her dream, was gone. Stolen. News of the stolen manuscript spread through Greenfield like wildfire. The tranquility of the town was shattered. Whispers replaced friendly greetings. Fear and suspicion clouded the air.
Inspector Ravi Iyer arrived at the library, a man who seemed to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders. His eyes, sharp and observant, took in every detail of the scene. He was a man of few words, but his presence commanded respect.
Inspector Iyer began his investigation by questioning Mira. He listened patiently as she recounted the events of the previous night, his expression unreadable. His questions were precise, methodical. He was like a detective piecing together a puzzle, searching for the missing link. The library was declared a crime scene. Yellow tape cordoned off the area around Mira's desk. The tranquility of the library had been replaced by an unsettling stillness. Inspector Iyer's gaze swept across the inhabitants of Greenfield. Everyone was a suspect. The once peaceful town was now shrouded in an air of mistrust and uncertainty. The inspector knew that beneath the surface of this seemingly tranquil community, dark secrets lurked, waiting to be uncovered. Mr. Jones, the elderly janitor with his gruff demeanor and keys to every room, was an enigma. His eyes, always darting around, seemed to hide a lifetime of secrets. He had been a fixture in the town for decades, yet no one truly knew him. His access to every corner of the library made him a person of interest. Sarah, the high school student who volunteered at the library, her eyes often lingering on Mira's manuscript, was another puzzle. Her curiosity was insatiable, and her ambition to become a journalist was well known. She had a knack for being in the wrong place at the right time, raising eyebrows and suspicions. And even Anjali, Mira's best friend, who harbored secret dreams of becoming a writer, was not above suspicion. Her recent behavior had been erratic, her once warm demeanor now replaced with a cold, distant attitude. The pressure of her own unfulfilled aspirations weighed heavily on her, making her actions unpredictable.
The interviews were long and grueling. Each session seemed to stretch on for hours, as Inspector Iyer meticulously dissected every word, every gesture. The tension in the room was palpable, with each suspect feeling the weight of the inspector's scrutiny. Each suspect revealed hidden resentments, jealousies, and secrets. The seemingly perfect facade of Greenfield was crumbling, exposing the raw, unfiltered emotions that lay beneath. Long-standing grudges and unspoken rivalries came to light, painting a picture of a town rife with conflict. Greenfield, once a haven of innocence, now seemed like a breeding ground for deceit. The picturesque streets and friendly faces masked a web of lies and deception. The town's charm was now overshadowed by an ever-present sense of unease.
Mr. Jones, it turned out, had been reprimanded by Mira for his frequent smoking breaks. This seemingly minor infraction had sparked a deep-seated resentment in him. His gruff exterior hid a man who felt wronged and humiliated, adding another layer to the mystery. Sarah, harboring dreams of becoming a journalist, had been caught snooping around Mira's desk. Her curiosity had gotten the better of her, leading her to cross boundaries she shouldn't have. Her actions, though driven by ambition, had cast a shadow of doubt over her intentions. And Anjali, struggling to finish her own novel, had been distant and withdrawn lately. The pressure of her unfulfilled dreams had taken a toll on her, making her actions unpredictable. Her once close relationship with Mira had become strained, adding to the complexity of the investigation. Inspector Iyer listened intently to each alibi, his mind working overtime. He knew that the truth was buried beneath layers of lies and half-truths. Every word uttered, every gesture made, was a piece of the puzzle he was meticulously trying to solve. Every word uttered, every gesture made, was a piece of the puzzle he was meticulously trying to solve. The weight of the investigation bore heavily on him, but he was determined to uncover the truth. The shadows of suspicion loomed large over Greenfield, but Inspector Iyer was resolute in his quest for justice. Days turned into nights. The weight of the investigation pressed down on Inspector Iyer. The pressure was mounting to solve the case, to restore peace to Greenfield. Just when all hope seemed lost, a breakthrough emerged from an unexpected source.
During a routine check of pawnshop records, Inspector Iyer stumbled upon a curious detail. A man had pawned a vintage typewriter the day after the manuscript disappeared. The pawnbroker remembered a distinctive tattoo on the man's arm, a serpent coiled around a dagger. The description sent chills down Inspector Iyer's spine.
The serpent and dagger tattoo. He had seen it before, sketched in vivid detail in Mira's manuscript. It was a crucial plot point, a symbol worn by the antagonist of her story. Could this be a coincidence, or was the thief brazenly flaunting a clue? Inspector Iyer's instinct screamed that he was onto something big. This tattoo was the key to unlocking the mystery.